All right. Just cracks immediately.
All right. Is enough. It's enough.
All right. All right. Yeah.
From the masters of the universe, Hordak reveals the most gruesome trap ever. Welcome to the slime pit.
The what?
The slime pit.
Now, Sparkle, you're my slave, not the slime. Yes, my slime will overpower you. I've been slime. No one escapes the evil horde slime pit.
The evil horde slime pit. New from the masters of the universe. You put it together. Figures sold separately from Mattel.
Attention, the slime pits are overflowing and slime is erupting all over the universe.
I love slime.
It's faceless, mindless, spineless, and now it's free.
It's free.
Free when you buy any 2 Masters of the Universe figures. Get a free can of slime at participating stores until May 31st.
Or until slime supplies run out.
Slime, a free gift from Hordak. Will you get it before it gets you?
Hello, welcome to Master Powercast. On this episode, we're going to be talking about the Slime Pit, the evil pit of Gruesome Ooze, released in January '86. We were talking about this before we started recording. It makes sense, but for me, for whatever reason, I'm thinking this was released. It had to be '85, easily. No, '86. So how about that? Learn a little something new.
Yeah, and I can see why you think that too, because this seemed like such an intensely marketed item with this line. This is something that you feel like would, but it makes all the more sense why it comes out in '86 when they're putting in, new tooling with all the new villains, all the new heroes, and they turn your place out like they're just going fucking crazy with expanding this line like Slime Pit. Oh my god, like this is gonna be it's a small play set. It's gross out. It should have made '86 probably the best year ever, and it's unfortunate that people are just again, as I've said so many times on this podcast, like '86 is kind of looked upon as like a kind of year, even though they gave us the Snake Man and more Horsemen. It just doesn't. It's not remembered fondly, and then whereas the last wave I feel like has more highly received members of all the factions. It's not frowned upon. It's just this was the end of the line. The sales were down because people were fucking dumb and couldn't keep it going until I got even older, to where I can go and buy more and more and more.
Really have a bigger appreciation for it. The Slime Pit, one of those things definitely that I got in that batch of hand-me-downs that I had gotten from some cousins, because they were pretty much that age where that really coincided with them. But at that point, the late '80s, they're done with that. Either getting older, they moved on to other toy lines. So I remember vividly getting this, Snake Mountain, Castle Grayskull, and just a smattering of some of the figures. Of course, I seem to recall the Grayskull that I got was gutted. There wasn't. They either lost all the stuff, whatever. Snake Mountain was, I think, pretty much complete. And then, of course, with the Slime Pit being the size that it is, of course, that's good to go. One of the things we're going to talk about once we start discussing this playset is the big selling point, the slime, and this big no-no in my house. But we will get into that. Let's jump backwards a little bit, and we'll start off here with our concept design. Slime Pit, Ted Mayer, the man behind this brainstorming
as well as a lot of important entries into this line.
Yeah. So you kind of within this concept design, it pretty much maintains this.
Yeah.
A few tweaks here and there, but for the most part, what you get here is what we're gonna get with the final toy.
I like the wolf concept for like the headpiece, because that wolf would be used and some other concepts. I think for one of the original concepts for the original the Eternia playset, there was a wolf head. I think instead of like a cat head, it would be like the central face of it. So I like that he seemed determined to work in a wolf motif, which seems badass. But I'm glad we got the kind of prehistoric skull on the slime pit that we did. But this looks great. It's just, very simple and obviously evolved into what we got, which is a work of art, to say the least.
So here we have a depiction in one of the catalogs here. And then the slime is just one of those things. From what I have here is Mattel more or less invented it as a commercial product, and it's been a popular seller since the late 70s. Slime Pit was a clever way for Mattel to integrate its popular slime products into the world of Master Universe. Though with this slime, compared to some of the other slime that they had out on the market, this is definitely a thinner consistency. I mean, we'll get a better look at the container here momentarily, but as we go through, we see all angles of the design, and I'm in agreement with you, because when we go here to that, it's like, yeah, that looks badass, but I do enjoy
it coming out of the head of a skull. Just makes more sense from a visual standpoint. It just looks like, almost like something prehistoric of the pre-Eternia days has been recycled and reused as like this headpiece on this monstrosity that Horak has created, or even on Pretheria, if you want to call it that, Etheria during its prehistoric times, and the pit itself, just like this, it's almost like it's a repurposed stone, or maybe not necessarily repurposed, but it just, it looks aged when I look at that. It looks like something that is old and ancient. And, I just love the little skull at the bottom there, and the hand that would rise up when you press the lever in the back to like latch on to the victim in the slime pit like that.
Yeah. I think if anything though, I kind of wish they would have made it just as deep like they did in the concept. It is pretty shallow in that regard.
I guess once you put a figure in there, like it would at least get to maybe close to knees up. So
it does, but I think if they would have made that deeper, I think it would have made the mechanic
the stakes of like when you're stuck in there. It ain't so easy just to leap out of it. You're deep. You got to climb out of there. Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's a great. And the fact that this is one of those things I'm like, man, that's why Horak does not need a Horde Prime. Hordak's face is on everything, man. He is the Coca-Cola of evil, because his face is on everything, from the Hordeman to the vehicles to the play sets. He is marketing his visage on everything, and I love that about him. That's why fuck Horde Prime. And I just, again, that's another sign like we do not need Horde Prime. Like Filmation did a lot of wonderful things, but that addition of that character is like completely unnecessary.
Yeah, and we should also take a look at just the claw hand coming from the right side here, that you can see better on this end, but when forward facing, it's not as prominent when you look at it from that angle. It could be easily misconstrued as like discolored stone on there. And I like on both, like on the sides there. And this is one of those things they did with Point Dread and Castle Grayskull. They'd have these small, teeny steps, and even on Snake Mountain to a certain degree, where to kind of elude that a character would kind of walk up these small little stone steps to put the victim in there or to get out of it, knowing full well that no He-Man figure, not even the women with their smaller feet, could actually stand on any of these slightly molded steps into the place. But it's fun about the imagination of what they were trying to convey. Yeah.
That there's more to it,
But selling the slime, it came in a variety of ways. You could purchase it separately, but you could also get it for free with buying 2 figures.
Yeah, you could, and there's a fantastic commercial that advertises that. We have to make sure we include that.
I'm probably just going to put all the Slime Pit commercials throughout here, but you see, sticker from Walmart, $1.97.
Which, I mean, knowing you could get slime for a quarter and the quarter machines, like not the runny stuff, but a little quarter, about the size of a silver dollar in circumference. I have a quarter machine of random colored slime. At any department store or grocery store, they'd always have like one of those little quarter machines that would sell slime. That was as close as I ever got to owning any kind of slime, because I would see it in the Ghostbusters commercials, the real Ghostbusters toy commercials. But I had this as a kid, and I had one opportunity to get it and was denied right to my face. You cannot have that.
We have here the sticker, free when you buy any 2 Masters of the U figures. It's, I guess, the universe.
They're trying to save space on there. They probably saved a lot of money by eliminating, all those letters in the word universe there. But so from February to April, just a couple of months.
Yeah.
They were only pushing the free special there. If you buy 2 figures, you get a couple of slime free, which I'm thinking like, is it, well, I imagine it's going to be some of the toys. Like you take it up to the register with your 2 He-Man figures. Like, I want my cup of slime. Well, you got to go back there and get it. Like they wouldn't have behind the counter or anything like that.
Yeah. And then
I always thought this was cool too. Hordak's face is molded onto the cap as well.
Hey, you mentioned he is the Coca-Cola
he
evil.
is like he's his face, and that's for like the Snake Man this year too. That snake symbol was used on all the characters, but not to the extent of what Hordak, because the Snake Man never had any vehicles or an actual play set. So
yeah,
Hordak definitely he was ahead of the game when it came to marketing.
And here's the lesson I'm sure many kids, many parents learned along the way. You get this packed with it. Caution, slime compounds, sticks to rugs, fabrics, and hair. May also be harmful to wood finishes. So for this very reason, it may have improved a little bit when Turtles came along, but I doubt it. But anytime there was any accessory, figure, whatever it may have been, that came with slime, that was the first thing my mom took out of the packaging, and she took it and threw it away. This would be one of those instances. I think there may have been a point where I said, you can pour that out. Can we at least keep the container? No, threw it away. And I'm like, no. So yeah, that the only time that they didn't want to keep anything, and rightfully so, because though I think I never would have used it, because you and I have talked plenty of time. I think if I would have been able to have the slime with the slime pit, I don't think I would have used it on any of the figures, because I would have been worried about them getting damaged, and I never wanted to do that to any of my action figures.
It's something too, because I think knowing me at that time, because I was such a nut, nothing's changed, but of being crazy about He-Man, and I gotten it home and opened it up, and when they advertised it with Spikor in the commercial and in that catalog, Spikor's probably one of the worst ones that you could have, that and Mossman,
Grizzlor,
because of the flocking.
If somehow you want to throw Grizzlor in there,
oh
for whatever
god,
reason.
Yeah, definitely. Like He-Man, jumps out of the way and pushes Grizzly.
Yeah,
that character's fucked too. I can't think of really a single character. Maybe Teela or Evelyn, because they don't have as much. They're more slimmer. I feel like it'd be easier to clean the slime, dried residue off of them. Mm-hmm. But there would still be residue on them. So I can't think of any figure that would have really. But Spikor, Mossman, and Grizzlor would have been fucked.
Yeah.
And I think I would have learned the hard way. Don't do this, and just use the playset itself and pretend the slime is falling down on these characters. Because I would not have been a fan of that at all. I think it was more about seeing the artwork in person,
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, look at me here. I was waiting for the prime. I was like, well, why not? I'm just going to take the opportunity there.
I mean, that's beautiful.
But yeah, I mean, seeing this right down the street from where I currently live at Family Dollar.
Yeah.
That's where I saw it on the top shelf, and I was with my granny at the time, and I seeing Beastman on a box was a big fucking deal to me, because I didn't own a Beastman, or came close and was stupid and chose not to get him. but seeing that and the lettering and just this, I mean, this box seems fucking humongous to me at age 4.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. And that image of Beastman with the slime was embedded in my brain from that day. I never forgot it. And I paid $30, including shipping, for this thing.
Well, how long ago was that?
Probably within the last 12 years.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it at the time. I was like, really? That's it? I'm paying like $25, and I'm paying like $30 total with shipping for this thing? Okay. You know?
I love that they have the instructions also how to take care of your slime. So you got to make sure that you get it out once in a while and play with it. Squeeze it, stretch it, snap it, or squish it in any shape you want.
I wouldn't have thought you could have done that with this slime in particular because of how runny it is. Like,
I don't know. I guess it does have enough consistency to it. And I'm sure someone out there that definitely played with this stuff as a kid, leave us a comment down below. Let us know exactly how the slime was for you. Because there's probably instances where some of it was runnier. There may have been some that had a little more tangibleness to it. Slime is happiest when it's in the thick of things, sledging up warriors and just generally gumming up works. Here are a few action scenes where your slime can take center stage. So they tell you, hey, that's how you can play with it.
Which I like, seeing like it coming out of this pit and like having a mind of its own, like the slime in Ghostbusters 2 when it comes out of the bathtub or in like the transit system.
Yeah.
Like it makes for a great visual and a good idea for storytelling, that really expanding upon the use of the slime, that it is the embodiment of evil, kind of like in Prince of Darkness when they have that big cylinder that's just filled with like the devil.
Yeah,
that it can do its own thing. Like looking at the slime coming out of that pit and attacking He-Man and Beastman and Man-at-Arms, like that's something like really could have a lot of fun with that concept. Like it's not like it thinks, but it's like almost like the Blob, where it can attack and or something like that, Yeah.
Tells you keep it in the home, keep it in its canister, and make sure that you cover it up because you don't want it to dry out. But then also beware.
Oh, look at that.
Yep.
Yep.
But there are a few Master Universe characters which it simply won't work with. It won't go near these characters.
Go near.
Yeah. Keep the slime away from a Grizzlor, Mossman, and Panther. And don't use slime with Cobra Khan or Dragon Blaster Skeletor.
Clog up the piping there.
Yeah, and don't get it near any battery-powered vehicle.
And again, that I love that Mattel, the presence of mind of like, look, these kids have one shot to get a figure like Mossman. Like their parents are probably not going to get them a new one.
Mm-hmm.
So encourage, like, yes, we thought this thing through. This toy can fuck up your current, collection.
But it's also probably a way to cover their own ass if some parent wanted to be like, you look what you did, I'm gonna sue you or something.
Yeah.
So it's like,
man, if you got this, if it came with instructions to not fucking do that.
Yeah. Before you start duping it up with slime, remember that slime sticks to rugs, fabrics, and hair. It may also be harmful to the wood finishes. So watch where you pour it. Remember, you are the keeper of your slime. If it escapes, you're the only one who can round it up. So it's like out of control. Let's tell you how to. If it stains, wash the stain with water and vinegar, then with soap. Dry cleaning will not remove slime. And hey, now you're ready.
I just strongly believe, like, if I was allowed to get that, my mom looked into this and she said, "Look, Tyler, you can have the toy itself, but the slime, we're not gonna, be able to make that work." And I think I could have gone along with that and not been like, it's the worst day ever, or something like that. I think I'd have been just happy to have it.
Yeah.
Plus, it comes with a mini comic, so you're like, okay, if I don't get the slime, I get a new play set, I get a new mini comic, and that would have been my hideout for Hordak because I didn't have the Fright Zone. I wouldn't get the Fright Zone until high school. So.
Yeah. See, actually, now I think about it, Fright Zone was also another hand-me-down.
God, man.
As well. Yeah. So I had that stuff, but it was for a brief period of time. And because of the fact that it's something that was a hand-me-down thing, that was some of the first stuff to go into yard sales like an idiot. I should have. I've since rebought. But yeah, obviously paying more of a heftier price. But you get some brief instructions of pouring the slime within the skull and assembly. here, and then we just get the contents. It tells you how everything snaps together. So it's pretty much
pretty straightforward and simple. $10, man.
Yeah, look at that. $10.
The price of essentially 2 He-Man figures back in the day to get that slime pit, which is not bad, really, even for $80, honestly.
Yep. And then with the figures here, you get an instant rebate, so you only pay $3.98.
Yeah, not bad at all, dude.
No,
now look at that kid. That idiot kid's gonna put Mossman in there. You
look, they just told you not to do that.
Instructions. He might be one of those bastard kids that likes to shoot things with BB guns.
Probably.
So he's probably taking his buddy's Mossman and he's going, I'm gonna fuck his figure up.
Yeah, it's like Sid in Toy Story, man.
Yeah, one of those malicious kids with toys, bastard.
Yeah, and we will get to the box art. Tyler already showed off his box, but we see the
more than happy to do it again
from William George.
And that too, like when I got older and got to see it again, and just seeing the scale of like this kind of fallen, Greek Roman setting of these temples and pillars that have collapsed, and like the slime pit was like the last remaining bit of this civilization, and Hordak has repurposed it for his own purposes or something like that. Like it's a part of Etheria that is long forgotten, and that he's like, oh, this would be a great place to create it. Like I have this idea for the slime pit, and that Beastman is going to be the victim in it. Like, I love the artwork on the back of the box too. This fucking kicks ass, man.
Yeah, well, I have some better pictures of this as we go along, but yeah, we'll see these in more detail later. But okay. I really, it's like you just get that mini story on the back of the box.
Especially with the first illustration too, there where you got a whole collection of evil and heroic warriors all tied up together as like a collector prisoner unit that the Horde has captured. Like that's getting the Horde over is like the dominant faction at the time.
Yeah, we'll get to that when I have the better picture. Yeah. But here you can see it in its box, and when you've taken everything out, of course, they're very smart. They made a point, put the slime in a plastic bag.
Yep.
And then, as Tyler mentioned, this does include a mini comic, which we will also go through and review with you all here.
And a fold-out poster.
Yeah.
Which I have that poster stored up somewhere, but that was a beautiful poster. It's just a checklist poster, but still it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I don't have an image of that unfolded out on here, but yep.
And that one came from Toys R Us, according to that sticker.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if that was also $10 or if maybe it was a slight
price increase because Toys R Us everything was a little bit more expensive, but it was more satisfying if you bought at Toys R Us.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. So now we have. Let's see. We'll zoom in. Yeah, can't really make out a price on the tag, but
probably $12.
Yeah, there's a better look of the front of the box.
God, that's just epic. And
now we get a better look at some of the images on the back. So I like this. It's like, oh, we actually have the container with us that has
with the Beastman logo on there too.
Yeah.
And pouring into the head, and just look, there's Trapjaw, Triclops, Cobra Khan, Man-at-Arms, Tila, and 3 other individuals in the back, all captured by the Horde, and all gonna be made victims of the slime. And look, Horde actually like rubbing his hands together. Mantana and Mod like an overpowered Beastman. Like, get your ass in there.
Oh no!
Oh God! Yeah,
slime is there.
It's just fun artwork. It's colorful. It's vibrant. And
now Beastman is under his control.
Yeah, he's a slime slave. Yeah, fucking brilliant, man. Just beautiful.
I don't know why it's. All right, well, that seems like a good a time as any to move this out of the way. And now let's switch on over and talk about the mini comic that was included with the slime pit. So here we go. Escape from the slime pit. This is something
one of probably, I would say, Jim Mitchell's best mini comic that he did. Most of his mini comics I find them to be quite ugly, but this is one of his best one, I think.
Pulling some Larry Houston almost having a gray skull just
Very
hanging
still
out
on the
there.
back, but you can clearly tell that's Jim Mitchell's style, where
Yeah.
some things look kind of old and craggly in the face. You know, like Hordak kind of looks old and craggly in the face, and the Skeletor does too. Like the tortoise in the Tootsie Pop commercial. You know, I never made it without biting.
So here we are, a gruesome place filled with terrifying creatures. Dark domain of Hordak. At the very bottom of the shadowy land lies a ghastly secret, and here's Hordak assembling his slime pit.
Yeah, it's very colorful. Like this is a job well done. And of course, Bruce Timm did the inking, so I think he polished Jim's work better than his work had been done in some of the other mini comics.
Yeah, kind of see that. But we have Modulok.
Yeah,
being the one to kind of help assemble this. Of course, we have Grizzlord hanging out as well. Yeah, a different look.
Still has kind of that Ghoulies look to
Yeah.
Modulok, which almost felt like by this point, which is kind of weird because Modulok had already been released the year before, but they're using kind of the prototype look that Larry Houston used in the Treacher Modulok mini comic. Like he still kind of comes off as a bit small, you know, and diminutive almost, and just, you know, not as menacing looking, you know, in my opinion, but not bad though.
But Hordak's plan is we're going to take the peaceful rock people. We're going to bring them over here and make them my slime monsters. So off they go.
Yeah. Montana, Grizzlord, and Modulok are going to go. Montana looks it's odd but menacing at the same time.
Yeah, I dig it.
Yeah, I don't mind him.
Yep. So then we move over to the peaceful village of the rock people, and He-Man's hanging out with them, and just basically it's like, hey, isn't it nice here? Check out all those cool shit.
It's, you know, be one with nature. That kind of, you know.
But
like
evil is lurking nearby, and they're like, hey, yeah, we can protect ourselves, but we don't have to fight if we don't want to. And I'm like,
see, again, this is something like you can. I mean, nobody wants to fight. Hell, He-Man doesn't want to fight, but he's not afraid to do it.
Yeah.
And having the rock people just kind of being these pushovers, it doesn't get them over strong like it did in the Rock People to the Rescue mini comic. You know, where, you know, Stone Door is like, look, yeah, we're fucking Comet Warriors, and we can, you know, we're pretty indestructible.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, to kind of present them in this method of like, we choose not to fight, so we're just going to let ourselves get captured. Like, you're not going to get over, you know, this new faction of characters. And because it often felt like, too, again, the Rock Wars were not as well received, which I feel like people are stupid, you know. And I know there are fans of it, but I feel like, again, they're not a group that was well received as like the Snake Man or more members of the Horde.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not doing them any favors. I mean, I would have established Stone Door. I was like, look, I've seen a lot of shit. I don't like fighting. But he's not afraid to, like, look, you've kidnapped, you know, my protege or my youngest warrior and rock on however you want to establish him. Like, no, you're not going to bully my people. You know, like, you know, it's just no, you can't do that with it. Like, I like the idea that they want to be peaceful, but still, it's just like, this is Masters of the Universe, damn it.
Yeah, and you have it here, so they get captured, and He-Man's saying,
why didn't you people fight? It's our custom not to fight. Like, damn it, man. Like, so you just assume, again, but this was established with Mattel too. I think what they wanted to do with these characters, like, why would you do that? You want to get these guys over strong, well, you don't have them come in and just be like, oh, yeah, come on, guys, they want to fight, man. You know, it's no good. But this is one of the best panels, is the one of He-Man marching to the slime pit. The shadow work, and that's all due to Bruce Timm's work with the inking on that, dude. That fucking rocks, man. Like, that's He-Man's a man on a mission, dude, in that panel.
He-Man saying, release them. No, they're going to be my slaves at this point. He-Man saying, well, you know what? Take me instead. And Hordak, yeah, you know what? That sounds like a way better plan.
Yeah.
enters the slime pit, goes on and gets oozed.
And that's a great visual of He-Man like up against the wall, like his arms bound to his body there, and the slime just pouring all over him there. It's a great visual, very beautiful visual.
As you've said a couple times already, Bruce Timm, kind of the MVP of this, really saves this mini comic.
He really does. Everything looks great with his work. He's like Larry Houston. Like he touches this, it's nothing but magic's going to happen with it.
Yeah. A green sludge covers He-Man's muscular shoulders, coating his mighty biceps. It oozes down his legs. And here he is. He has it's worked.
Almost sounds like you were reading something that John Laurinaitis was talking about. Oh, He-Man.
Yeah, he's
big biceps.
Yeah, he's so vascular.
Hurt my throat doing that. I hadn't done that voice in a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute since you've done some Johnny Ace.
I gotta take a sip of water after that. Oh,
but yeah, it's worked. It's manifested, and now He-Man is one of the slime monsters.
He's a member of the Horde now.
Yeah, he obeys and he hears. So the whole thing now is gonna send him after Skeletor, which I love that aspect. I was like, yes, I have him under my control. Send him over to Skeletor and mess with him now.
And it's kind of fun to think too that this was established on Eternia, that the slime pit is in a territory on Eternia. It's not on Etheria, so we're not jumping portals and just kind of like, okay, well, He-Man walks from Etheria to Eternia. It's in a secluded location, not too far from where the rock people are residing, this secret base of creating the slime pit, and sends He-Man marching, to the Dark Hemisphere to go after Skeletor.
At this point, we have to call upon the spirit of the Sunrock. So with its cosmic forces, the Sunrock glows until spheres of brilliant light stream out in the direction of Snake Mountain. I love he just busts in and Skeletor with his Terror Claws. It's like, my spells aren't working against him. Oh, shit.
So I wish we could have seen like Skeletor actually like in combat with the Terror Claws. Like, here he is, you're using the new variant, but you're not actually using the variant, like having him slashing at the ooze, and it's not like penetrating, his skin, because the ooze is like solidified. It's like a shell over his body almost, That would have been nice to see Skeletor. The Terror Claws have they're not causing any damage, and that's when He-Man punches the fuck out of him there.
Backs him in a corner. Skeletor saying, "No, there's shit on me." Essentially,
yeah.
Suddenly, there's the sphere of dazzling light that surrounds He-Man, and he's starting to break through. I'm kind of indifferent to how this book kind of ends. I'm like, it's going to be the light that sheds the slime.
Yeah.
It doesn't really work for me, though.
Me neither. I think you could have come up with a much better way of method of, it's great they're willing to push the envelope and make He-Man like the villain of this mini comic, that the slime is a very deadly and dangerous device that the Horde uses, and if it's used effectively, and it does create a great sense of like, oh my god, like we're fucked, but it's a bit hokey-ish to have this random item that the hippies have got. And I kind of feel like I don't mind the idea that they have something in their village that is like a great symbol of strength and peace and unity and tranquility, but
point it over there.
Yeah, because I'm like, see, that's where like I wish Stondar had got off his ass and helped. And it's like, can you help us out? That'd be nice. You get back to me. All right, great, thank you.
But not only that, but the Sunrock transports him back too. So it's like, all right, now we're
see. That's when I feel like, they, even though him going to Snake Mountain is good, but I feel like it should have been more about He-Man going and attacking the rock people. Like their newest friend is going after a group of pacifists, and what do you do?
And it forces their hand.
And Stone goes, all right, look, you're my friend. I hate doing this. And after they fought and they clashed, and then he calls upon the power of the Sunrock to, I don't know, just give him like reflect energy, because they're all about reflecting, like the reflective surfaces on the interior of their body. The sun rot would reflect its energy onto Stone Dar, and the light is so intense it cracks the slime off the slime pit, or off the slime off of He-Man, excuse me, and would shatter the shell that's been covering him, or something like that.
Yeah.
Because it seems very overly convenient to have the spirit of the sun. Okay, now I'm going to hurl you right back to the slime pit.
Yeah. Yeah, but here we just get the He-Man's transported back. He's fighting them off. He's doing a good job. Modulot gets slimed. He-Man helps free everyone, and then they transform themselves and hurl themselves down at the evil horde.
Again, you don't get to see the Rock Warriors be badass. You just get to see them roll around, and it's like, man, guys, like you're just missing golden opportunities here, especially when you get our first visual of what could easily be Granada, like the female Rock Warrior. I mean, which she wouldn't show up until the Rock People to the Rescue episode and She-Ra, but getting a nod to that, like, man, we need to see these guys kicking ass, male and female, and not just be sitting around like, okay, you can bind me and I'll go sit in your dungeon and shit in a bucket.
Yeah. Yep. But they do use their light to make it to
that
where
could be used
it's
to break the slime shell off or something like that. It's just good ideas, but it's you need to really like change it up. If you're trying to avoid violence and stuff like that, like it could be worked around in this story here. It really could have. And I don't like seeing, and Rock-On tends to be outside of Rock People to the Rescue, like he's getting captured or kind of, like he's captured the Rock People to the Rescue. He's captured in this. And the Star Comics issue #2. Stone Dar or Rock-On's pretty much like kind of taken out of action, almost like he's the weakling when he's introduced as being the guy who's eager to fight. He's the youngsters. Like, I want to see him. I want to have a good brawl with evil. I want to go kick Skeletor's ass. Where's the horde at?
Yeah.
And it's like you're constantly making him getting like the old school Robin, always getting kidnapped by the Joker or the Riddler. Like, no, like, don't do that with these guys. Have little Rocklings, young Rock Warriors, like little kids or something like that, be kidnapped, but not Rock-On when he's part of your main line, and you're always showing him as like, oh, he's getting captured again. Like, what's this, like George Kennedy and Damon Morph? Always being disarmed. Like,
shows up with this gun. It's like, I'm just gonna take that. All right,
hey, Betty, grab his gun, will you? Okay. Like, no, it's they just didn't. And I when you see like the beautiful painting that Earl Norton did of the Rock People, like in the from the magazine, and you see Rock-On in this like dominant pose, staring at Hordak and Leech on the edge of this rock, and Stone Dar's coming down and emerging. Like, these guys look like they're ready to go beat the shit out of the horde. Like, we don't know who you are, but you're evil. We're gonna kick your ass. And you don't see that in any other form. It's just like they've been completely, and they're established that we're here to crush the evil horde in the commercial, or when in Rock People to the Rescue, where's Skeletor at? Like, it's like they already know who he is. And God, I wish I had the opportunity to like retool that and make them, the villains are growing in numbers, but the heroes are growing in power.
Somebody do in a future episode, perhaps.
That would be fun for us to reestablish the coming of the Rock Warriors, and
let's
give a history of like why Stone Dar doesn't want to fight, but it's like, look, I like the idea like they're looking for a new planet, but then they realize that the planet they come to is consumed with constant war, chaos, battle, people fighting over power. And it's like, realize, like, no, we're not here to fight. We're trying to stop these guys. And it's like, okay, well, you know what? We don't like fighting, but you know what? This is a good place. We'd like you people, and we will pledge ourselves to keeping Eternia safe from evil and things like that.
Well, something we will set aside for the future.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, let's make that a future idea of like,
definitely.
Rock People to the Rescue is a fun mini comic, and maybe that's how we can maybe kind of cover that and say, okay, this is not a bad introduction, but this would be a better introduction to get these guys over. Is more, and something I wish we had got is and I think I mentioned this on Fans of Power a long time ago, and probably nobody paid attention. Is having a villainous rock warrior.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Like he's made out of like he's got like kind of a lava color on the inside of him, like this kind of ash, rock, and with these glowing like lava eyes, and aligns himself with Skeletor.
Yeah,
and says like, I'm one of the last. I was against what they were about. I'm the last of my kind, but I followed Stondar here.
We got to save it for when we do that in the future.
Okay, I'll shut the fuck up.
You can't just throw it out. It's like, no, we got to save it.
When I don't have anyone interrupting me and telling me, I could just talk intellectually about this.
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, we can make it like this big thing. It's a mini comic makeover, character spotlight, kind of all
on Stondar and Rock and expanding the world of the Rock Warriors.
Yeah, that's probably what we'll call it. Expanding. Yeah, something. But yeah,
brilliant, man.
We'll do that down the road. But the mini comic that we just discussed, Bruce Timm MVP saves that whole thing with it.
Yeah,
with his inks for sure.
I would give it a 6 out of 10.
Yeah,
it's
not bad
because it's not bad. Like I said, considering some of the others of the 86 way, like the Snake Men comics kick ass. Snake Attack and King of the Snake Men are great. The Eye of the Storm sucks. Fastest Draw in the Universe sucks. Extendars is it's not great visually to look at. And Rock People to the Rescue is by far probably the best looking. And yeah, so this one's it's not bad. It really isn't. I give it an honest 6, because there's some moments in it I think look genuinely beautiful, like really nice to look at. So it's slightly above average.
Yeah, it's nice to look at, but the story could use some tweaking. Yeah. Lookie's Sweetie is the episode here from She-Ra that we kind of get this version.
Yeah, you get a bit of a nod to the Slime Pit.
So I did not watch this aspect of this episode, but yeah, you see some of that there. So
yeah,
there that is.
You're ever going to get to it? This is a work of art here, people. Yeah. Man, this blew my mind when I first saw this on He-Man.org back in the day, and I was so thankful I was able to finally get that magazine with the magazine intact and put it in the frame, which is over here in the closet right now because I have no place to put it right now.
I think this comes from the June '86 issue.
Yeah, Buzz Off looking. I mean, Earl Norm made everyone look awesome, but I mean, the Buzz Off looks so badass, like covered in slime, and then Flying Fist He-Man looks fucking amazing on Battle Cat. Like, just.
I was looking to see if I had that poster in a frame on the wall, but I don't.
So,
I might have this magazine though.
I'm sure you do. Yeah. And I love seeing the use of the Flying Fist variant, which was used. I don't feel like it's used as much as the other variants were used in marketing. It just such a cool visual. I didn't appreciate Flying Fist as a kid. I just he didn't have no sword, but it's a great visual with the spinning mace and the spinning shield.
One of the cool aspects of this is like, what's the story
Something
up here?
that Earl Norm and William George would do, and Errol McCarthy, and a lot of their expand the setting. Like, okay, you want this play set and these figures included? Well, I'm going to expand upon that world here. And again, this looks like a part of an old civilization that Hordak has repurposed part of it for, or maybe during his old tyranny, this was left. Yeah, and when Hordak is returned, like, the Slime Pit is still here. Civilization is just hoping it would be forgotten. Well, I didn't, and I'm back, and I'm going to reclaim it. I'm going to make this my Slime Pit of Despair. It's just not a great book.
Well,
it ain't horrible by any means, but it's not. A lot of the kid stuff, the Sword of Skeletor, I think Revenge of Skeletor, I think is what it's called. That was not too bad. But.
Yeah, so this is A Prisoner in the Slime Pit. As Tyler mentioned, put out by Kid Stuff, so there is audio to this. So yeah, see the pictures, hear the story, read the book.
I'd have been crazy about this book had I had it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd been batshit crazy for it.
That's always the thing with this, especially this kind of stuff. I remember as a kid having not Master Universe, but having other IPs with the audio or the record. Having the cassette. Sometimes you get the one with the VHS tape that had it kind of not really moving around, but they would give you the general idea. I ate that shit up as a kid. I'm like, oh, it's more stories of characters that I love. I didn't care about how they read it and how stuff sounded. If it was just one guy doing the voices for everybody, none of that mattered to me.
It was like, hey, someone's reading a story to me.
Yeah,
because I had Thundercats and Transformers in these books that came with tapes, and would listen to them, and so it was much enjoyed. And I had a He-Man, book with tape. Like, I probably much like running the He-Man VHS tapes on the weekends. My parents were like, "Can you listen to something else?"
Yeah, I think about that from time to time, and I know that you always fantasize about how you wish either this would have stuck around or you would have been born earlier to gotten the full experience. I wonder how how I would have taken to this had I been a little bit older, or had this stuck around and lasted longer. Maybe like if Turtles hadn't come around and exploded the way that it did, like where would Master Universe would have ranked for me as a child? But yeah,
I think because of that, though, like we wouldn't be where we are today had we been born any earlier. And I fight with myself a lot about that because I wish I could have been older and experienced the entire wave along with Thundercats and G.I. Joe and Ghostbusters coming out when it's brand new. You see commercials and you walk into a Hills or a Roses or Kmart. Oh, they're here. The new ones are here. And it's, but I'm like, I'm thankful the path that I've taken.
Yeah,
with all this stuff because it kept me so hungry through the late 80s into the 90s, feeling like I'm the only person walking the planet who's still interested in this stuff while the new stuff is still coming out. I'm like, I still want He-Man and She-Ra and Thundercats and G.I. Joe, and I'm still buying Turtles out the ass and being fucking crazy about it, but still it's just
I'm glad syndication and reruns were
and VHS because that was a big saving grace for me, and just that determination of knowing that there were. I like how the Rock Wars are illustrated in this book. I think they look probably that and some of the hordes look quite good. Rock kind of looks especially good in this.
Yeah. So this is the only image that I've taken from this particular book. But yeah, just from this, I'm like, yeah, that looks great. One of the cool things here is the slime pit was going to be repurposed with a King Arthur toy line that Mattel was going to do, but none of this ever really came to pass.
I kept thinking the line had come out. I didn't know it never saw the light of day, because I remember reading about it for years that was part of that line, that it was going to be repurposed, but I had no idea the line ever came out.
Slime Pit set, Boulder Basher, Valor the Warhorse,
which is a pretty Warlord Viper, Sir Darren, Warlord Slasher. So I'm assuming we got 3 heroes, 2 villains, a steed for the heroes, a base or a slime pit or a villain base, baby, a villain base, maybe. There we go. It's an interesting start there to the line.
Well, I think it's a thing of maybe some of this stuff did come out, but the slime pit wasn't included.
Okay, so they were planning to release it, and just the line was canceled, I guess, before.
Yeah, because I'm looking. I'm looking here, and you can. There's definitely figures on eBay, but also too, it's, I don't know. King Arthur, it's like, I guess a passing interest, but around that time period, it'd be like, Robin Hood, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we get our slime pit version from the
which I owned.
Yeah.
And
the 2000X line.
Yeah, I just kept it in box. And why Mattel and NYP was so fixated on that fucking bone creature, which was used in 2 episodes of the NYP series, and they packaged it as this ghoul. You can dip in the slime pit. It comes out as a slime covered monster, or what they call a mutant. Like, it's that same fucking bone monster that they thought was, oh, let's just repurpose this thing again. Why? I don't get it. So many other things you could have done, and you just chose to do this. And the box art is just a
Doesn't do it any favors.
no. Much like the packaging with that entire line, just lazy as fuck.
Yeah.
And yet they claim they put a lot of money into that line. Like, what are they going and making all the variants?
And now you can see here with the Harry Potter line that Mattel put out, and you see the resemblance a little bit, quite a bit actually.
Yeah, very, very similar.
Which this looks cool.
It does. Like the snake head is the headpiece there. Like it looks great.
A slight little off-topic thing here, but so HBO is doing a series with Harry Potter. So it's like Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, but it's going to be a series on HBO.
Mm-hmm.
And you watch the trailer for it, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, did we not say everything we needed to say when we did the movies? Because you watch this and you're like, we're just rehashing this. I'm sure there's some slight modifications, and I am by no means a big Harry Potter fan. Like, they are enjoyable enough for what they are, but I just don't. I'm like, okay, sure, let's do this. And of course, there's some swaps. So it's like Snape is a black guy now. I'm like, yeah, whatever, who cares? That doesn't bother me at all. But I'm like, why are we doing? What's the purpose of this? Is what it is. But yeah, there's that, and then we have this.
Oh yeah, which I'm assuming is this supposed to be a Lazarus pit or a slime pit? Because since it comes with Ra's al Ghul,
I guess maybe it's their version of a Lazarus pit. I don't know, but yeah, just some homages here.
Yeah,
look,
it's fun.
Yeah. So that's
very simple concept that could be easily repurposed for a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, you think back to the Kenner days, man. Like they like to repurpose a lot of stuff.
Oh boy, did they ever!
Yeah. So for Mattel to do it,
I have no problem doing that. And especially they're taking the concept of repurposing, whereas Kenner would just use the same figure. Like, I mean, they used Silverhawks and worked in like the gimmicks into the Batman line, like which at the time you didn't realize that, but they would repurpose like damn near the entire figure outside of the head, and just which it worked.
I just think of those Bat caves that they reused multiple times. It was like Returns, Forever.
Maybe I thought Forever was like this big kind of stretched out, like kind of narrow Batcave playset. It wasn't like the Batman Returns or the one from the '89 film.
Well, I'll look up images when we take our break. But Tyler, any final wording on the slime pit itself? Is this a thing you see yourself? Have you worked it into any artwork yet? Is it something you're looking at doing?
I alluded to it in the Leech mini comic because I like the idea that the Fright Zone, like the playset Fright Zone, not the one based in the She-Ra series, that they have created a river of the slime that surrounds the Fright Zone. You have to cross this bridge to get to it. So that way there's an infinite supply of the slime for them to use whenever they want to. They got a prisoner they want to use in the slime pit. They just go over to the river, dunk a bucket in like a big vat in there and bring it over and haul over to the slime pit. So that was I made a specific point, much like in Ghostbusters, like with the river of slime, that the slime river surrounds the Fright Zone itself. And I even had Hordak say that after He-Man has killed the Beast Monster, he's pissed. He's like, they'll all drown in the slime pits for this. So I almost like it's not it just. You'd be drowned and it would kill you, not turn into a mindless monster, but you're drenched into where you suffocate in it almost.
That would be,
which I know, like I would, if I was really given the reins, I would teeter a fine line of like, I don't want people dying, but I want to allude to the idea that maybe people have died in the past. to at least build the stakes up, because I don't, sure as shit do never want to kill off any main characters because of for shock value, because that's shitty writing.
Well, I mean, that would be a good way to do it, and it also works in the fact if you look at the toy, we talked about that skull that was kind of embedded in there. Yeah, I think that would work in a way that you could show that off as
people have died in this thing, and that's something that I'm like, I kind of feel like this turning into a mindless slave is just kind of like, it's okay, but I feel like drowning in the slime itself, like the Blob and like the remake, it just suffocates you. Whereas it's eating you, but you can't breathe in it when you get drenched, and you're just suffocating in it. And I like to think that that's something that when the slime is poured, it's so thick and heavy that you're going to suffocate in a large vat of it being dumped on you.
And you could, if you really wanted to, and I'm thinking back to the shots in the instruction manual.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted, you could make it a thing. It's like maybe the slime does have a bit of a mind of its own in regards to what it's capable of. And going back to like the River of Slime and Ghostbusters too, that it very much
that it could decide, like this time it may decide to completely go down the wall, and the victim in there thinks it didn't hit me, but the slime is coming up off the ground and starting to circulate around, like it's locked onto his legs and snaking and coiling around, like just building up the fear and tension, and it does something different every time to each victim. It may decide to just cascade all over him, or it may decide to just latch onto the arms as it's coming down and pull you back, and then your mouth is open and it goes down your throat. And
so you could still kind of work in the aspect of like a slime monster. Like it's taking them over.
When he's created, he with his evil sorcerer, like kind of gave it the embodiment of evil.
Mm-hmm.
That it works at his command, but when it's okay, I'm pouring you in here. Do with this victim as you will. Be creative with your destruction on this living being here. And just make it a constant embodiment of fear, like not just something that you can just oh gross, someone give me a wet nap. Like it needs to I would never use like the mindless slime monster, like where you just walk out and be a zombie kind of thing. Like nah, let's make this like you do not want to go to the slime pit. Like that's just something that you're looking at death itself, much like the Fright Zone itself being a feast for the beast monster.
Mm-hmm.
The horde needs to be the embodiment of like, man, you will lose your life when the horde have you captured. Like there's a good chance your friends or you may lose your life. Like there needs to be stakes built up, and I know why they did it for this, but for like today, you're not going to kill off a rock warrior, or you're going to kill off Snout Spout or Man at Arms to get over like, oh, how deadly this is. Like we need to see a peasant farmer or someone meet their demise either off panel or see it and show that look, if we get stuck in this thing, we will die.
Dude, could you imagine a shot in a mini comic where it's very much reminiscent of the VHS cover for the Blob remake, where it's just you see the villager's face and the slime, and
that's what I was thinking. Like when it's coming down on someone and it's just engulfing them, and either like melts them down to bones, hence the skull in the bottom there, or it consumes them and they die in it. And then just over time, their body just will deteriorate, much like it does when it's buried underground and all that's left at the skull. But something like that visual, like you use that movie poster or the VHS card. The movie poster is like is a body inside the blob.
Yeah, you definitely want to use
the was VHS so frightening to me as a kid. That would need with green slime over an Etherean farmer or something like that too.
That would make a cool just mini comic cover. Just ripping off that VHS.
Doing an homage to that.
Yeah,
like putting it over like having like Hordak standing off to the side with his arms behind his back, relishing this tax evader. Okay, you're not gonna pay our taxes? Well, here you go. And his family's watching as he's being consumed by this living ooze. And again, that's getting the horde and the slime pit over is like, people, you do not want to cross this faction, like, which makes it all the more satisfying when She-Ra and He-Man go kick their ass.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, gotta get these guys over strong. Gotta get some heat.
It makes me just talking about that though. I'm a little overdue for a Blob remake.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've watched it too, man. And there's some good deaths in that movie, man.
Yeah, really, really good practical effects too.
Yeah. Highly underrated remake for sure.
Absolutely, and
I love that they didn't hold back on the death scenes, man. There's some gruesome shit in that movie.
Yeah. Well, since we're kind of edging our way towards that type of conversation, let's go ahead, take a commercial break, and we'll be back right after this.
Stay tuned. Don't you go anywhere.
The mutant slime pit from the Masters of the Universe. Out of the oozing slime, Skeletor raises a mutant slime warrior. But He-Man splatters this evil plan to bits. Looks like Skeletor's fallen for his own trick. Masters of the Universe mutant slime pit playset. Win great He-Man prizes at toonami.co.uk/He-Man.
Los Angeles, 1997. Crime is the #1 industry. As bad as things are, they're about to get worse. Much worse. This Thanksgiving, he's in town with a few days to kill. Predator 2, rated R.
Vandals are terrorizing old Detroit, and only one thing can stop them.
Put down your weapons.
RoboCop. The evil Rulons are trying to capture Questar and take control of prehistoric Earth on Dino Riders. Man, Firestar, and Spider-Man join together to form an unbeatable team on Spider-Man. RoboCop, Dino Riders, and Spider-Man, all on the Marvel Action Universe.
Sundays at 7 on Channel 5.
And we're back. Tyler, the feedback that we got, this all comes from our Golden Book review, Atila's Secret. So first off, we're starting with Drawing by Hand. I'm so glad both of you are checking out Galaxy Rangers and many other cartoons, and then brought up Johnny Quest and talking about the 60s version, and then brought up the 90s version of it, and said here that didn't really enjoy the 80s version of Johnny Quest, and that got me thinking, would Johnny Quest for you like Johnny Quest at all? Or
I watched the 60s show was on reruns in the middle of the day on TNT back in like the early 90s, and I remember seeing commercials of it thinking it looked stupid, but then being out of school in the summertime around the holidays and I was able to see it, I was actually, man, this is actually pretty damn good.
It's a great show.
Yeah, it's like I said, we're talking over 30 years ago, but I was actually taken aback by how much I enjoyed that original cartoon. I thought was badass at the time. So it'd be interesting to go back and read it. But the others, I had like the like kind of futuristic take on Johnny Quest. Like, this looks fucking dumb.
Yeah.
But then the 80s one I have not seen. No.
Yeah, I need to jump back in there myself and maybe just check out all the iterations and see how I feel about them. Went on to say, I enjoyed Tila's Secret. It sort of ties in with Tila's Quest, which I've watched many times over the years. I remember Double Team. I rented it back in the day. It was a good film, plenty of action, what I can remember. I need to rewatch GoBots, but I'll stop right there. So, hey, there you go. There's someone else out there.
Someone else like Double Team other than myself there. Yeah. Which again, Van Damme's latter part of his career was nothing memorable at all, but that was definitely, well, if you look at Knockoff and Universal Soldier: The Return, like, believe me, Double Team is by far head and shoulders above, those in the straight to video shit.
I'll give it a rewatch. What to say? I need to rewatch GoBots. I used to watch it all the time. Never knew they made that many episodes. I didn't watch Transformers as a kid. I completely missed it until many years later watching the 86 movie. The episodes that got DVD treatment, I didn't enjoy them. I forgot to mention great artwork from Kevin, the splash piece of Whiplash and He-Man saving the lady in the pit and Snake Mountain. So
glad you enjoyed that.
Yeah. So thank you for leaving that. More Kevin artwork on the way, Tyler.
Yeah, he's currently finishing up another cover as we speak. It's just about done. So I'll have that one to show off in the near future. I don't have a story, but I have an idea, and that's really about as far as I've gotten with that. And I'm already paid for another idea, but I've got 10 to 12 ideas I'm trying to get narrowed down for what to do. Because sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm in the moment. Let's do this one, because I've changed my mind on multiple times, and he's already like done like a sketch layout.
Oh no.
Well, it's like a rough sketch, just like rough pencil.
I know, but still, you send that, and he's probably just sitting there with the I just picture him. He's got that big ass eraser or something. He's just like, motherfucker. Yeah, he pays me well, so it's fine. But
I remember I had to do like a double page layout of Marvel superheroes taking on the Marvel like Universal monsters, like having Dracula's daughter with some werewolves, Frankenstein's monster teaming up with Blade, Shang-Chi, Iron Fist inside this castle, and you got Dracula and his brides coming down the steps. And I just had this they're trapped, and like, okay, who's, and he did the layout and everything, and that's when I was like, you know what, save the layout. I want to do a He-Man mini comic cover.
Oh man. But he can come back to that, and
I hope he still has it, because there's so many ideas that are not He-Man related that I still want to see, and a lot of them are superhero related too, because he's done a lot of Marvel, and he's done some G.I. Joe work for me as well.
And I know that we discussed on the previous episode, he's not a big fan of Turtles, but I mean, just the Kino, Casey Jones, Raph.
If we have the green, he'll draw us green.
Oh man, I definitely want to help pitch in with that Batman Daredevil idea at some point. Just I have to make sure that work's going to be a little more consistent than it's been before I start.
Well, you let me know, because I always try to. And I'm glad he stays busy. He still does work for other people. Like there's someone I think over in overseas that has him do like comic book He-Man artwork and stuff like that too, and people doing commission stuff like that too. But I like to try and keep him as consistent with my stuff, because that's where I spend the majority of my money nowadays, is just like making this artwork come to life. And you don't see the name like Rob David or Ted Biaselli or Tim Seeley anywhere near this artwork or story. But yeah, I definitely want to make that Batman Daredevil crossover come to life. The Raph, Casey Jones, and Kino, and our other idea we have for him.
Oh yes, yeah.
Which he's already said he would agree. He would definitely do that for us as well.
And we
gotta give him the money.
Yeah, and we look forward to sharing that idea that we have with you soon enough, in due time, hopefully. This next comment comes from Johnny Cock, and I've seen some of the stuff on YouTube, and it is kind of crazy to think about, and I understand why these companies do this, but went on to say, in Malaysia, at least when I was a kid in the 80s, the fast food chains were considered imports and higher end. KFC's had glass plates and metal cutlery, and the first one in my memory was laid out like an indoor courtyard garden in the basement of a shopping center. The first McDonald's was built into a historical building downtown and had super tall ceilings with brass or copper etched panels and a spiral staircase, and the play place took up 2/3 of the second floor. And I was just like, yeah, those fancy ass like fast food places overseas are a sight to behold. And it really makes you think. And I'll call them memes. I've seen the memes about it. You probably have too, where you look at stuff, how colorful things used to be.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Fast food places. You think about how McDonald's was in the interior, its exterior, and now everything is just so
sterile.
Sterile. Absolutely.
It's
sad.
McDonald's, especially. I've had to go into McDonald's to use the bathroom, and I just would glance around. This place, you wouldn't even know it's a fucking McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
They just have kiosks.
Yeah.
To go over and place your fucking order, and it smells like McDonald's. They're serving McDonald's food, but this looks like a place where you get a new iPhone.
Yeah. But all across the board, they've all done that. You think about Taco Bell and like its awesome, like bright color schemes, and now it's just like purple and gray, and that's it. And I hate talking shit about Taco Bell because I love it, but I hate the way that the places have done this stuff. You think about Target. Target used to
Target's
have
really sterile now with the brown. No longer the red logo. It's just brown exterior with white lettering and the the Target symbol. Like, this is fucking lame.
Yeah, but even the interior now, granted, we didn't have it so much around here, but the older Targets used to have like neon lighting that would run across the tops, and they took all that stuff away. Why are we doing this? But it makes me appreciate architecture way more. Like,
well, and I also feel like, I mean, not just because Target clearly is a big draw today. Even with online shopping, people love to go to fucking Target. No matter what city you're in, Target's always slammed, and it still remains to be one of the more, I guess, respectable places to go shop. Whereas Walmart always has that stigma of like, trash and hoodlums and riffraff hanging out there, as well as like normal people shopping there. But Target seems to be like the more upscale department store shopping that's not inside a mall.
Yeah, man, they used to have the fucking music thing. You could push the button and listen to the music.
Yeah, Nathan starts breakdancing in the middle of the store, listening to Devil's in the House, the Rising Sun.
I always think of just let your love flow.
Oh yeah, that one too. Nathan snaps his fingers and starts Nathan would do these public displays of just making fun of country music live by like acting like he's so into it, knowing he's making fun of it. But he would do that on a regular basis on a Friday or Saturday. We'd walk in there, and it wouldn't be a trip to Target without him making fun of country music in front of whoever happened to be walking by, which only was just me observing and making me laugh my ass off.
audience of one. And speaking of, when we would go shopping, most of the time is for action figures, but a good portion of it was shopping for movies. And before we started recording, those of you that watched the previous episode watched the Tila's Secret episode were probably wondering what the hell that stinger was from. That's from a movie called Day of the Warrior, directed by Andy Sedaris. And obviously talking with Tom, this is a movie that's on one of his shit movie lists that he likes when he's at conventions and people are hanging out in his hotel room and they're watching bad movies. This is one that's on his list, and he doesn't own these movies, and they're kind of expensive on Blu-ray. So I told him, hey, there's this DVD set, but it's also gone up in price. But it made me think that when I purchased it, it was a $10 ordeal at Kmart, and you and I were talking about how much we missed movie shopping at Kmart, because action figure wise it was expensive. Most of the time you didn't find anything, but you were guaranteed to find some hidden gem in Kmart for real cheap on DVD back then.
And even before like the DVD really got going, like VHS in the late 90s, early 2000s, like going there and getting horror movies for $5, like Friday the 13th 1 and 2, and Army of Darkness and some other movies. Like, it was like proud to like go in there and be able to pick up 2 or 3 movies with your allowance money or lawn mowing money. I mean, I'm putting up a massive collection of like classic horror movies, $5 a piece. This is fucking great, man. And DVDs would be like, $7.50, $10. Our premium would be $15 to $20. Like, oh boy, this is kind of expensive, man. But anything from five to 10, maybe 12 was but even then, man, that was, Kmart was not a proud store to go, even though I have a lot of fond memories, even in the latter years, like around Christmas time, looking at direct decorations, things like that too, and going looking for movies. It had its moments, but it definitely was in dark times, and it wasn't as satisfying as it would have been back in the 90s and the 80s, going to Kmart when it was stocked up with all kinds of shit, from action figures to trading cards to movies out the ass, and sometimes respectable clothing.
We still had good times when we went into Kmart.
Oh, I mean, well, yeah, if you and I are hanging out, we're gonna have a good time, even if we're just seeing nothing but shitty Fast and Furious cars by Hot Wheels.
Oh man, that's where that originated.
That became Nathan's catchphrase, or shared catchphrase between the two of us for years to come, making it like saying anything was like Lanes. Oh man. Or it went from "oh man" to "oh man."
Yeah. Had to put that extra oomph into
that
it.
along with palming it, and
R.I.P. Kmart, man.
Yeah, you gave us a lot. That's where I got my first He-Man figures was at a Kmart. So,
Man,
I have nothing but respect and good memories for pretty much all the classic department stores that have gone the way of the dodo.
Yeah, got a lot of shitty movie DVDs there. Black Shampoo, top of the list. What? If you've never watched Black Shampoo, that's like one of the best, shittiest exploitation movies from that time. It's just watch it. I'm sure you can find it on YouTube, maybe, or Tubi. It's probably streaming on Tubi. But this next little bit, this is the premiere chat from Tila's Secret. These might be a little out of order, but Fallen Eldor, hot take. The One on the Moon is my favorite James Bond movie.
Oh, Moonraker, huh?
I was like,
The One on the Moon.
Yeah. But then also went on to say this. I'm also going to be team Cobra Law and Ninja Force G.I. Joe. See self out to avoid tomatoes. And I was like, no, hey, this is a safe space
Ninja Force,
here.
dude, you own that shit. You do not ever shy away from Ninja Force, man. I swear to God, people, the Joe fans who are strictly about the first 2 years and that is it, and ignoring the other waves. Like I can understand arguments for some stuff. I can. But Ninja Force, at least the first wave of Ninja Force with Nunchuck, Shebang, Dojo, Storm Shadow, and Slice and Dice. People shit on that. Fuck you. Right up your ass, man. Like, it's dude, Nunchuck, a camouflage ninja. How do you not like that?
Yeah.
And
but
like,
I made a point to say, I was like, hey, no, Tyler and I are all about Ninja Force.
Oh my God, dude. That was crazy. Still am about the Ninja Force. I had nothing but the fondest memories of seeing the commercials and getting Slice and Dice, I think, for a birthday present, getting Nunchuck for a Christmas present, getting Storm Shadow. That was the only Storm Shadow I had as a kid, was the Ninja Force Storm Shadow.
Yeah. Same for me as well. Like that whole time period was and I love the cards, the color scheme.
The neon pink.
Yeah.
It popped. Like, yeah, I get why the very, very old school G.I. Joe fans are against that because of the vibrant colors. And yeah, the cards were not as, the card art always looked great, but I know like the fire blast that would be around the character on the cards from like the very beginning up until probably 92, 93. I think is when they kind of take that fire burst away from like the back of the character on the card art. But the card art always looked good, like no matter what, even if it's a shitty character, like the card art always was so promising and delivered an ass kicking member of Cobra or the Grenadiers with Destro's gang or a member of G.I. Joe. But then and Cobra Law, like, look, the mythology around it fucking sucks. I loved it as a kid. As an adult, no, I don't dig that. But Globulus, Nemesis Enforcer, Pythona, the Royal Guard, they all kick ass. They all look amazing. Great visuals. They were amazing in the movie, but I don't subscribe to them as being the source of how Cobra Commander came to be.
Yeah, that's where you start to lose it. But going back to that, fucking ninjas. Like, how do you not love ninjas? But
again, people are just like, there's too many ninjas. Like, shut the fuck up. There's too many guns in G.I. Joe while you're at it,
Yeah.
Like Snake Eyes, Quick Kick, Jinx, Storm Shadow. Like, I no, it's too many. Night Creeper, no, it's too many. The Viper Ninja, no, it's too many. Like, we need. Just fuck off.
Fallen Eldor also went on to say, Connery is the best. I love the unofficial James Bond sequel, The Rock. I've never watched The Rock.
I didn't like it. I saw it once. I wasn't impressed by it. And this was when it first came out on VHS. I was so excited to see it, and I was just kind of like, eh.
I need to watch it.
Well, I don't like Nicolas Cage. He's not a heroic actor. Like, you look at him like, this guy's not a... Even I remember loving Con Air when it came out.
No, hey, no, hang on. Con Air is not a bad movie.
A lot of bad acting in that movie.
It's it's totally fine though. It's we don't even. They need to make more movies like that now. Like that's a popcorn movie.
It's a popcorn movie, but today, like, they don't believe in making action movies with guts and glory and balls big enough to come in a dump truck. We don't have action stars anymore. They're very generic looking people playing, action roles that are just like, this is an action movie.
I need to get you to watch that Reacher TV show. I think
I saw samples of it. It's not. I mean, I know you've told me about it, and I've heard other.
It's good.
Praise the shit.
That Alan Richardson was my choice to play Heat Man.
He's got the size for sure.
And he's got
sure as shit would be better than the shitty actor they got. Well, fuck.
I mean, I saw the thing with Alan on TMZ. I guess he got in some argument with his neighbor and like fucking beat shit out of him. But I guess the neighbor instigated. I don't know. I haven't read up that much.
So they're like, okay, well, Jake Richard's been canceled because someone was an
No. I think maybe the neighbor was in the wrong. I don't know. I'd have to go and neither here nor there. Anyway, he was my choice. I think if you watch that first season of Reacher, you would probably like it. So maybe. But yeah, Ninja Force rocked because it tied in with Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter.
Again, getting Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter figures in the same scale as G.I. Joe, same articulation. Only thing I didn't like about later figures was like they had the battle feature, like the battle punch and chop.
Yeah,
I fucking hated that.
Yeah, that did suck.
They did that with only some of the Street Fighter figures, not all of them.
I think Honda
Ryu came with that, and I fucking hated it. Oh.
I think Honda had it as well, and that
yeah, he did, and Chun-Li, I think she did too. But Guile, Bison, Blanca, and Balrog didn't come with it, and Zangief didn't either. I can't remember if Vega and Sagat did or not.
Oh man, I've talked about this a few times over already, but when they did that Street Fighter tie-in, I saw the commercial, and then we got like I think it was like a Roses Weekly circular or something, and it advertised that these were coming out soon in the paper. And I clipped it out and I put it on the fridge, and I eagerly anticipated them coming out. I was so excited for them because I was a big Street Fighter fan as a kid, more so over Mortal Kombat. And then that became in conflict when the movies came out, because I'm like, oh, Mortal Kombat's the movie's better than Street Fighter. But now, if you look at the Street Fighter movie as a G.I. Joe movie and you have a greater appreciation for it, it's like, yeah, these are even kill movies for me. But
fuck yeah, they are.
Huge Street Fighter fan. Said the story before. Dad bought me Super Street Fighter 2 on Super Nintendo for Christmas that year. I found the receipt for it where he had put it on layaway, that he had stuffed in the center console of his and Mom's 78 Mustang when he was push mowing my great grandmother's yard. I'm in the car being bored, looking for anything. I found the receipt, and I can't remember if it blatantly just flat out said Super Street Fighter 2, but I definitely had something like Super SF 2, and I was like, and then I stupidly told Dad that I found it, and Dad's like, well, this was going to be for Christmas, but I guess you're not getting the game now. And I was upset, and that was all we spoke of it. And then months later, Christmas came around, and I still got it, and I was like, oh, thank God. But yeah, big Street Fighter fan. The Jada toys, all about those. I haven't unboxed this yet since I've been showing off figures, but I got Akuma.
Oh, badass.
This has been sitting on the floor, so I need to unbox Akuma, but there's not many left, man. So I'm just like, oh, it's great that line's gonna be wrapped up for me.
I still would like to get the rest of the G.I. Joe Street Fighter line, because I've only got a small handful, because I had more when I was younger, but to put them with my diorama, because I've got Bison, Balrog, and Sagat set up with a gold Cobra throne, like they're making an alliance with Cobra.
Yeah,
so I got to get Vega, and then I do have I thought I had Guile, but I wanted to have like Van Damme movie Guile and set him up next to John Matrix, who I had talking to the fridge in my little diorama.
Yeah,
but then I'm like, I want to get like the game Street Fighter Guile to go, and have him like he's interacting with the G.I. Joe troops, and get Blanca and Ken and Ryu hanging out with my ninja group of Quick Kick, Budo, Storm Shadow, Snake Eyes, and Stalker, as like their allies, or have Ryu and Ken hanging out with Quick Kick or something like that. It's just taking the time and getting the money. Plus, I've also got the Commando villains from Fear, or they're the other faction set up that's making an alliance with Cobra in my diorama. So I've got Shadaloo and Fear, all coming together and with this unifying with Cobra, and I could add a few more, and that's one of the things too. I was so proud to army build for the first time, getting a bunch of range vipers, getting a bunch of night creepers, getting a bunch of strato vipers, and just building out the setup of something I never dreamed I could do. Well, I would dream about it as a kid, but never would never had the opportunity to do something like that.
Yeah. I think every kid did. It's like, I would love to have more of these like I see in the cartoon, but
yeah, mom and dad aren't going to buy me the same figure and over, or when you're there,
you already have that.
Yeah, or do I want to pass up getting
someone else?
And honestly, like, I don't think I ever came across another range viper or night creeper in the store for me to even have that idea. Like when I saw the range for the first time, I think it was the only time I ever saw him. It's like, okay, here he is, and then that was it.
I got to get him. Yeah,
got to get him now. So it's
otherwise
but
you miss out.
Yeah, the Mortal Kombat in that Mortal Kombat line would be cool to have like Sonya Blade. Since she's part of the Special Forces, I put her in that group as well.
Did Jax come out in that line at all? Or
not the first one. They had like a slightly taller line that was, it looked shitty. It wasn't like G.I. Joe, but it was the Mortal Kombat Wave figures was pretty much based on the first game, because everyone was there. I did have the Shang Tsung's Dragon Wing ship.
Oh yeah,
I got that for my birthday,
and that was repurposed from
Pirates of the Dark Water.
Yeah.
So I got that for my birthday one year. My dad got it for me. Oh my god! And we had quite a few of the figures at the time. Me and my brother both. So and there's a Johnny Cage too that looks more like the video game as opposed to like a repurposed bonsai figure, where they have like this moldy weapons on his chest. And he's black and blue. It looks ridiculous. But then they have one that looks more like the video game where he's wearing like the trunks, and he's got like tape fists, I think, or tape on his wrists, and wearing the glasses. Looks more like the video game counterpart. That's the one I would love to have. You got Sub-Zero and Reptile and Scorpion. Like, would I put them? Where would they go if I were to get them?
You're running out of space.
I'm running out of space.
Fallen Eldor said, I had the Karate Kid big ass playset.
Oh, I know what he's talking about too. Oh, you bastard.
The Taiwan Death Training and Competition Center had everything karate. I had everything Karate Kid, and the whole damn thing got lost in storage. Every time we moved, I lost a whole line of figures. TMNT, Dino Riders, etc. We moved.
Okay, no wonder you're Fallen Eldor, because you have fallen from grace from all those amazing toy lines you lost, man. Dude, but at least you got to own them at some point in your life, man. Like, I only got to see the tournament play set one time at Rose's, and of course, no, you can't have that.
It was probably on clearance and everything too.
Yeah, who the fuck knows? I told my mom, I said you can't have that, and I couldn't get the Ghostbusters Play-Doh set either. Like, motherfucker.
I have that with its.
Oh, I know you did.
No, I still have it.
Oh, God.
It's down in the basement right now.
Yes, that's right. It is. Yeah, because I've seen it.
Actually. Oh, did I bring it up? No, I couldn't fit it here with my real Ghostbuster stuff, so it's down in the basement. But yeah, I have the Play-Doh set. Fallen Eldor also went on to say, we moved apartment to apartment from 87 to 2000. Every couple of years drove me nuts to lose toy collection after toy collection, and all my family playing dumb. Those rat bastards.
Yeah, God knows how many things I lost too. My parents were just kind of like discarded or didn't notice it was sold in a yard sale, because I know I had certain things. I'm like, I know I fucking own that. What the hell happened to it?
No, so, my parents were.
Yeah, Nathan's parents were constant gems, and we need to get them a Hickory Farms gift basket for all the shit that they,
Dad would appreciate the summer sausage.
Okay, well, we need to make sure he gets some summer salt, and because just for me, I want to thank him as a toy fanatic. Like, I'm glad you did this for your son.
Yeah. Fallen Eldor, It's 11 out of 10. I think it's one of the best Master Universe stories, especially from the 1980s, referring to Teal's Secret. Art's not great. Art's not great, but the stories of He-Man, Smells Trouble is great. A big focus on Stinkor, the only spotlight he got. A great origin for Roboto. Skeletor's Flower of Power has the best Skeletor art from these larger hard covers. So agree or disagree with any of those?
The artwork is not good in any of those. I think Teal's Secret and River of Ruin have the best interior artwork. I mean, yeah, Stinkor gets the spotlight, and Roboto coming from another planet, which even when I finally read it, it's like, I think I like the idea that he was created by Man-at-Arms. Like, I don't want Man-at-Arms being responsible for creating every fucking thing. It's just like, no, that's some Scott Knightley bullshit where everyone's, related to each other and sleep with each other and they're all related and all this other bullshit. But I like the idea that, okay, he creates weapons and things like that and our vehicles, but he's created one member of the Heroic Warriors, and that's, coming with Roboto. But I like to think, too, he's also probably responsible for, keeping Rotar alive, how he lost his lower body, and like Man-at-Arms probably came up with something, with I think the gyro machine, I think is what preserved his life there. But I don't want to make him, like, the guy who's constantly responsible for fixing or making everyone who they are. Like, he gave neck and neck his neck. He gave Fisto his big fist. Like, no.
Yeah.
You're diluting the world. It's a vast world. We don't need to have everybody just, interlocked together here in a big nightly mess that Rob David and everyone else who come behind is just like, oh, yeah, just like shitting all over. Add some more. Here. Oh, yeah. Just rub it all on there good. And what do you think? I love it. We're going to continue this on. If you want to work on this, you got to keep working on this fucking shitty sandbox here. It's all these lumps of dried shit. All these douchebags have left in here.
I wasn't expecting him to just go on the rant.
I didn't either. I just kind of roll with it. I'm certain some people say they're really nice guys, and I'm sure they are. They just don't know what the fuck they're doing, working on He-Man. And have no business doing so. They should be setting pins in a bowling alley, not just shitting in their hand here and slapping all over here. And that people that hire us in Mattel are like, I really don't know, but I don't know anything about this stuff. Well, why not? He shit on paper. It's got to be good. We hired him.
Fallen Eldor. I should rewatch GoBots. I loved it as a kid more than any other mech-based show or toy. I was like, yeah, at this point,
absolutely, dude.
Johnny pops in. We kind of get some more conversation here. Fedmon saying, I wouldn't mind playing modern games if it wasn't for a thing called money. Yeah. Fallen Eldor, like, I have my favorites, of course, but if you love something, why not try and enjoy more than a narrow bandwidth of the thing you like? And then went on to say, modern gaming is so complex. DLC, season passes, updates. I just want a physical copy and the whole game. I love retro games. I do as well. It sucks. I miss the days when you go, you buy a game, you put it in your console. That's it. Nowadays, even if you buy it digitally, you buy the game. Oh, it's got a day one patch. It's got an update. You got to install the fucking thing. That's a whole other process. And then DLCs, season passes, shit locked behind another paywall. Some stuff's fine, but I've really ventured into this path of I'm more about the retro stuff, the retro remake stuff. There's an RPG that I think I might buy. It's Star Ocean Second Story R. So it's like a 2.5D, a little bit of 3D remake of the second Star Ocean game that came out on PS1. And I was watching videos on it. I'm like, this seems like something I kind of want to hang out and play. That Marvel Maximum Collection came out this week, so I probably need to buy that too. It's $25, so I'll probably pick that up so I can play X-Men.
I got to come over and play that with you. Like I have to, yeah.
And, yeah. So there's that with the
is the Punisher game part of that too?
No, it's not, unfortunately. But no, the Punisher arcade game's actually on Marvel versus Capcom collection that I also own. So that is on, yeah. And that arcade game's a lot of fun. So
I only got to play it one time. I had to play some fucking Nick Fury.
Well, when you come over to my house, got some bad news. You're going to have to play Nick Fury again, bud.
No, I'll just knock you the fuck out, and I'll take your.
Oliver Belmont. Nathan, will you and Tyler do a tier list films of the late martial arts icon Chuck Norris? We talked about this when we recorded last. The plan is we're going to do an episode focused on Chuck Norris movies, whether it's a tier list or just merely us just talking about all of his films. We're going to do that with Tom. Tom's going to join us, but we got to wait on Tom to come back from his vacation from Japan, the lucky bastard.
Yeah.
He's been sending me pictures, and we've been talking about his trip. And I've been talking to him about my Rothrock movie watching and me spending money on Vinegar Syndrome discs and going on eBay and spending $80 on Martial Law 1 and 2 because it's out of print and I have to have them because I watched them and I've enjoyed them. I love Rothrock movies, but the cool thing about her, though, is the vast majority of the films, she's not the lead. She's oftentimes being
a supporting
supporting characters. Just hanging there, kicking some ass. What I love about her the most, especially in her American movies, and I think it's just something that she really adopted from her time doing all the Hong Kong stuff, is how her martial arts is portrayed on film. The way that she punches, the way that she kicks, it all looks really, really good. The vast majority of the time. Now, sometimes you'll see a shot and it's like she's doing a kick and clearly it misses by a mile and they just that's on the director. She does such a good job when she's fighting on film, and she's like kind of a decent actress. Like, she's not fucking terrible and she's not like Oscar worthy, but she more than holds her own. One of the movies, this came out in the mid 90s. I'm not going to sit and talk about. I'll list off all the ones that I watched this week. Tiger Claws 2, Tiger Claws 3, Martial Law 2, Undercover. Yes, Madam, which that's the Hong Kong title. The American title for it is In the Line of Duty 2, Super Cops. So unfortunately, the one I watched was the American version. It's the dubbed version. I need to actually watch it in its native language. I feel like I would appreciate that more, but it's very much, we talked about Jackie Chan and you talked about how some of the shit was kind of goofy.
Yeah.
You get a lot of that in this, but there were a couple parts that made me laugh. Honor and Glory.
They also look, like sped up. Like they don't look like they're authentic in their speed. It's just like everything that they're doing on screen. A lot of those movies looks like it's sped up to make it look like it's more impactful. And
it is in this. And I think that's what makes her stuff when she starts doing American movies more look better because of that. It's just I think she has more of that timing down to make it like to perfect it. But Honor and Glory, Sworn to Justice, Rage and Honor, and Rage and Honor 2, Hostile Takeover, which Tyler, with Rage and Honor and Rage and Honor 2, her co-star in that is Richard Norton. Does that name sound familiar to you at all?
Oh, God. Yes.
I'll give you a hint. He was in Lionheart.
Wait. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. I'm, shit.
Maybe he wasn't as big of a player in a Lionheart as I thought he was. There's something that I watched him in that he's like very familiar looking. Maybe he's the villain in Gymkata. I don't know. He was in the Octagon.
Okay, in the Octagon. Oh yes, yes. Yes, okay, yeah. I know who he is. Which he's fought Rothrock in some movies too.
Yeah. So it's just weird seeing all of these other actors all integrating throughout various movies.
Lionheart, Richard Norton? I'm trying to think what he would have played in Lionheart.
I would have to look at the credits because initially I didn't see him there at the beginnings. I was thinking he had more of a prominent role because he stuck out to me as soon as I saw him. I'm like, I've seen him in other shit. And
yeah, because he plays the Ninja Enforcer in the Octagon. Like that's his main part, and then he plays a small bit at the group that kind of takes on new recruits, and Chuck Norris kicks him in the balls.
One of the ones I wanted to focus on was Sworn to Justice. So this came out in 1996. And the whole thing, I'll read the synopsis to you. After masked attackers kill her sister and young nephew, a female psychologist takes the law into her own hands by acting as a defense witness by day and a ruthless avenger by night. But what they don't tell you in this when you start to watch it, and she has some ESP, so she can pick up an item like her,
like in the Dead Zone.
Yeah, it's like, so she picks up her sister's necklace, and then all of a sudden she can see what happened to her sister. But the funny, I'm not gonna say funny, I guess just the odd thing out of watching the other Rothrock movies with this one is like, I don't know if it was her idea or it's just the angle they wanted to take. It's like, we need to make you more sexy and stuff. So she has like a couple of scenes in it where she's like, I'm gonna call them sex scenes, but it's like very tame.
Yeah.
But just seeing her in that, I was like, this seems odd, but I'll buy into it. Anyway, that movie was pretty decent. But Martial Law 1 and 2, like those quite a bit, especially Rothrock is secondary. She's supporting character in both films. So in the first one, Chad McQueen, who most of you may know, Karate Kid,
yeah,
son of Steve McQueen. He didn't do much in terms of acting, and I watched him and I was like, he's really good. I wish he would have gotten more roles going forward. And then Martial Law 2 stars Jeff Wincott, and you look at him and you're like, he looks so much like his brother Michael. Michael, of course, kind of the more famous of the two brothers, being in The Crow,
Robin Hood, 1492, Conquest of Paradise, Alien Resurrection.
Was he also in Three Musketeers? Disney?
Yeah, the Disney Three Musketeers. Yeah, he plays. I forgot what his name was, but they got the eye patch that when they did the Musketeer, the character that Tim Roth plays.
Yeah.
And he was good. He was good in that. I only saw it once in high school, and it was better than I thought it was going to be, because I thought as a kid when I saw the advertisement for, like, oh, this is gonna be goofy as shit.
But dude, Jeff Wincott fucking rocked it in Martial Law 2. So much so that he has a movie, Mission of Justice, that's on YouTube that I want to watch. And Bridget Nielsen is in it, and she plays the villain, I believe, because it says here, the mayor candidate, Dr. Rachel Larkin, has a dangerous plan for swift justice in the form of a band of ex-convicts called the Peacemakers, who roam the streets to do her bidding. When a boxer friend is killed by Larkson's thugs, an outlaw cop goes undercover to get evidence. I was like, I probably need to watch that one too. So I've been enjoying the Rothrock. Been buying more movies. I've been talking about that media shelf for weeks and across many episodes. So I haven't put that shit together.
It's going to get to where the movies are covered. The media shelf now is going to even forget it even has it, because you got so many movies just piling up all over.
I sent you the picture of that stack on. And I'm like, I need to put this together. I think we got one last thing here. Fallen Elder, Brave Star is beautiful, but I never connected to it like Master of the Universe, especially, or Ninja Turtles. But I love Filmation's Flash Gordon and recently watched Tarzan. So
yeah, the Flash Gordon series is fucking beautiful, and they draw some amazing looking women in that series. I've yet to watch Tarzan, not because I don't want to, I haven't been able to find it either. I think there's just like some snippets on YouTube, and that's really about it. It's one of those shows that I don't know if Warner Brothers owns it, because they like to take down anything good, like Thundercats and Silverhawks. Like, you got to pay to watch this.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing. It's unfortunate, And they don't want to do anything with the property. They just rather let it sit on and collect dust. And
hey, there's always shitty crossover comic books that they.
Yeah, and we'll just, next thing you know, we'll have Turtles crossover with Silverhawks. We'll have Turtles crossover with Thundercats, and
Big Apple, 3 a.m.
Yeah, it's just like, dude, like, yeah, a crossover with He-Man is
no, they could do the thing where no turtle has gone before.
I'm still so fucking peeved that we got one crossover with He-Man Thundercats, and it was the drizzling shitstorm. And it just continues to be like, okay, well, that was a fart in the wind that everyone came and went and everyone forgot about. So let's just cross them over with the shitty toy line and no logic at all. Just mash them together. You know, that was the sales pitch in the fucking meeting. Yeah. Who wants cake? You know, I still am so upset that the potential for that crossover is. I'm looking right over here at a crossover I just did. Like how many characters you can cross over that are there are similarities. Like not just force them because of like, you know, Ram Bam and Dragstore, like, you know, these kind of like, you know, they have like a wheel embedded in their body and then you clash with each other. But like you don't write a story just based on that. But there are so many counterparts that you could have these fights and set up, you know, Snowman of Hook Mountain versus Icer. You know, or Icer versus Chilla, or have them team up. You know, I got Panthro fighting Ninjor. I got 2-time fighting Roboto. You got 2-time teaming up with Too Bad, or 2-time teaming up with Modulok. You know, no. We can't make shitty toys that way. You know, He-Man fighting Gruen the Destroyer. Lion-O fighting Terraclaw Skeletor. You got Lion-O's Claw Shield versus the Terraclaw. All these little things that you could just work into these great battles, these two worlds crossing over together.
But you didn't do that, did you?
You didn't do that. You just want to sit around and lick the cat's butt instead. While in the cat's shit box. I hope you're proud of yourself, all of you morons.
One last thing, and we'll go ahead and wrap this episode up. Jaime Mares reached out to me through Messenger. Talking about Chuck Norris. Jaime was like, I want to watch some Chuck Norris. I've watched some in the past. What do you recommend? I said Lone Wolf McQuade, Invasion USA. His son,
the Missy in Action films. What the hell's the matter with you?
Hey, I was only given a couple of suggestions.
He could have reached out to me.
I mean, I'll let him know. But his son has been watching this stuff with him. So I got this message. I just want to highlight this one message. My son had too much homework to watch anything today because they had to watch Invasion USA in increments because they would start it would get kind of late and everything.
Oh, crying! You had to watch it all together. Oh, yeah. Damn it!
But my son had too much homework to watch anything today. He told me he's intrigued of Chuck Norris because of the Chris Bradford character in 2012 TMNT, an obvious Chuck Norris inspired character. And then the Turtles watch Chris Bradford's cartoon, which is basically Chuck Norris Karate Commando. So he's really interested in that too. Then said, hey, I can't find these anywhere. Send him the link on Amazon. You can get the DVD set really cheap. And he's like, I bought it. I can't wait to watch this with my son. And I was like, that's awesome. That's
and Linda Gary plays the voice of one of the members of Claw's organization. And it sounds like it's Evelyn. Like full on Evelyn. You're like, oh my God, it's Evelyn.
So just some wholesome good shit. He's watching those classic Chuck Norris films. I can scroll through because I do think that he ended up watching more than just that. I think he mentioned Delta Force. Maybe Missing in Action, but I'll make sure. I'll be like, hey,
at least Missing in Action too. Like one and two, three is the best. One is damn good as well, and three
three's okay.
Three's not
fine.
Bad. It really isn't.
Yeah, it's not. I'm trying to remember now with 3.
I remember getting more criticism from you over part 3 than any of them.
Now it's just like I've been so far removed from watching those that I probably just need to go back and rewatch them all again, which I think I'm going to do anyway in preparation for when we sit down with Tom, and whether it's just a full-on discussion or tier list. We have to celebrate the work of Chuck Norris in his prime, the absolute proper way. There will be no top dog discussion, though. I seem to remember that movie.
I remember renting that when it came out, and
it is what it is, right?
It's a cop and a dog. It's hijinks, and so I'll just say even back then it was forgettable.
Yeah, God, that's just the fascination with just that genre. It's like Burt Reynolds, cop and a half. He's hanging out with this mouthy kid.
Stallone, they stopped my mom will shoot,
which Arnold tricked him into doing, which is fantastic. I love that so much.
Yeah, and knowing that after Twins and Kindergarten Cop were so successful, he makes that, and you're like, I didn't enjoy that as a kid either. It was just kind of you think it's going to be great, and you're just like sitting there just watching it, and you have no reaction to it. You're just watching it.
Yeah,
It's unfortunate, but yeah, Chuck's heyday was definitely the Octagon. The movie's slow as shit, but it all builds to that great climax at the ninja compound where they train all the ninjas, and Chuck's got to go through this obstacle course of ninjas, and has to face Richard Norton in his ninja outfit, and they had this kick-ass like fight like that alone, and it's got some hot women in it too, and Lee Van Cleef is in it as well, and the villain from American Ninja plays Chuck's like step half brother, who in like the younger version is actually Brian Toshi, who's the voice of Bungie on Bionic 6 and Leonardo and the live action movie, and also
it's so crazy how they're all intertwined in that decade.
You can find a way to connect,
dude. It's
all this stuff.
Yeah, I think they need to change it. It doesn't need to be like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. They need to do it with like Chuck or Rothrock or one of these other people, because they're so a revolving door. Just all of these people that were either heavily involved or kind of dipped their toes within legit martial arts.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and
because Rothrock is like what is like eight-time black belt. I don't know what their fucking stats are. I looked at it, I was like, yeah, it makes sense the way that she fights. Watching all the fight choreography and everything. Even if you're not trained watching those movies, you're like, you know what? If I was ever in a situation where I have to like fight somebody, if I don't get caught up in the moment and actually kind of think in there, it's like, yeah, maybe I could do some of that shit. They go throw a punch, you block, and then you fucking do this, and then like you throw a knees on them and stuff. So kind of got me in the mood. I'm like, should I just start taking up karate?
Dude, I don't give a shit. It's never too late to learn how to,
Absolutely. And then I'm like, I just need to watch Cobra Kai again.
Yeah. I always thought it would be fun to take up, martial arts or learn something like that. But
let's do it, man. Let's go.
You work night shift. I work day shift.
Hey, man. We'll find a way. Let's go join a dojo. Let's get started.
It would be fun, for me to do like a Van Damme helicopter kick.
I'm sure that's probably like the first thing that teaches, like, it's not like this.
Yeah. I was like, no, but I want to do it the way that Van Damme did it. Yeah. I want to do a roundhouse kick the way that Chuck does it. And I'll wear I have stretchy jeans so that way I can get the kicks up high. Because if you look back at some of the old like magazines, like martial art magazines, they were selling jeans for you to do kicks in because Chuck Norris wears those, and it was advertised with Chuck Norris.
That's awesome.
I'm like, oh my God, man.
I
just love that, dude, because I hate wearing jeans. And I have one pair of like stretch jeans that work better with my legs, not for kicking, but just they're not restrictive like regular jeans are. And I'm like, I could see, I could do some kick ass, kicking action here in these jeans here and look good, get a nice pump going there, and like there you go, get the arms all oiled up there, and
get like the spray bottle and spritz your face so it looks like you've been sweating real hard and everything.
Do some push-ups or lift some weights and get a nice pump going. Like, all right, I'm ready for my close-up there. All right, action.
When you started saying that, it's like, go home with some weights, jack off to
my favorite jacket. Like, what does that come again?
Oh man. All right, let's go ahead, let's wrap this one up. I hope everyone enjoyed us.
Well, Jaime, if you're listening to, you got to watch Sidekicks with your son too.
Oh yeah, it's free on YouTube.
Remarkable Chuck Norris film, especially with your son too. Very relatable, not only as a Chuck Norris fan, but as a kid, and in the school system you deal with bullies and all that bullshit. It's a great way of dealing with it. It's a great like counterpart to the Karate Kid.
A fun adolescent coming of age story.
Absolutely. And very relatable, especially if you relate about being an action hero as a kid. That movie takes it to a whole new level. Okay, yeah, if you watch action movies, you relate to Jonathan Brandis' character. I know I sure as hell did.
Yeah,
I still do. Nothing's changed. I still envision myself not maybe being the sidekick, but I'm being the hero in my dream. So
Oh man, yeah, I need to give that one a rewatch. But make sure you like this episode. Leave us a comment down below. Talk about the slime. Let us know your experience with it. Did you
fuck up your toys?
Did you fuck up your toys? Did you mess up the house? Did they have to rip the carpet out? Do all these things?
Your mom and dad say, "All right, that's it." They make you sleep in the cat shit box the rest of the night because you got slime all over the carpet and the couch, and
yes,
the shag carpeting was ruined. You little bastard.
Leave us all the comments down below. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so already. And until later, let the power return.
I make it a rule never to take a woman unless she can beat me in a fair fight.
I feel like I should know this one.
Yeah, you should.
I've been on a decent streak as of late of getting these right, but I think the streak ends tonight, I think. Give me a slight hint.
Boy?
Red Sonja.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm piecing it because the way that you said boy, I'm like, yep, that sets. But then also too, because you got the 4K from Arrow Video, watch the bonus features, watch the movie. We had a little bit of a discussion for it during our little commercial break.
Yeah. Fucking brilliant. If you're a fan of that movie, pick up the 4K. It looks fucking amazing. Comes with a lot of great special features, some nice inserts, a nice collectible box for it to be in. Very, very prestige. The best the film has ever looked in its physical form and in its actual transfer. It looks fucking amazing. Brilliant.
Have it saved on my Amazon list, so maybe here soon I'll pull the trigger on that one.
Oh, it's well worth it, man. I was so happy to get it. It looks so good. So good.
And he's going to get that newly announced Mortal Kombat 1 and 2. You're going to have the second one, even though you don't want it.
No. I'll never. I don't even know if there's special features on. I frankly don't give a shit because there's no one in that.
There
movie
is. There is.
Oh, I figured there was. So I'm like, then I don't. There's nothing unless they're going to say, yeah, the movie sucked because of this and that. Like that, I'm intrigued by it, but I don't see them doing that with Mortal Kombat Annihilation because there's nothing redeeming about that movie. Everyone knows it's a piece of shit.
I mean, I always enjoyed the part when Johnny Cage gets his neck broken at the beginning.
And even that was so fucking poorly done.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's a terrible movie.
Yeah, the soundtrack was the only thing decent about that movie, and that the soundtrack kicked ass, but the movie was just fucking dreadful. God, man, shitty CGI effects, shitty fight sequences, shitty acting. Like there was just nothing good about that movie. And I saw it twice in theaters because maybe I like it better the second time.
It's good for a couple laughs.
To laugh at. That's what all anyone does. But for a movie,
but now you can do that in 4K.
No, I have that is one shitty movie I have no desire to sit down and watch because it's like watching Power Rangers without the Power Ranger stuff.
I think you should watch it when you get.
I could watch it with you and laugh our asses off. But
we'll do that. We'll do that.
I'll come over. We'll play some X-Men Arcade, and then we'll watch Mortal Kombat 2 4K.
Yeah, what a night.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Thanks for your time. Oh yeah, just kind of like oh yeah, I'm supposed to